Hello students, I am Pallavi Bokhe from VPKBIT Baramati. So today we will discuss about the topic that comes under triangulation survey, that is the first unit, intervisibility and height of station. Now when in triangulation survey, when we select the triangulation stations, that time we first uh, check that whether the stations are visible or not, because in triangulation survey the distances are very long as compared to the plane survey. So in that case it is very mandatory to find out or to check whether the stations are visible or not. So here we are going to discuss about that how to check the intervisibility of the stations, and if in case it is not possible that the some stations are not visible from the other instrument stations, in that case how much height should be provided to that station, or how much height, by how much height that station should be raised so that it will be visible from the other stations. So here it is necessary to raise both the instrument as well as the signal to overcome the curvature of the earth and to clear all the intervening obstructions. Now when we provide height of station, or when we check the intervisibility, so it depends upon some factors. So first is the distance between the stations. As we have already discussed that the distances between the station in triangulation survey are very long. Second, the relative elevations of the stations, what are the elevations of the station, and third is the profile of intervening ground, the whether the ground is plain, whether it has some particular peaks or obstructions, or whether there is a any other kind of obstructions, for example forest or etc. So let's start with one by one. So first is distance between the station. Now when we calculate the distance, now the distance between the station is with respect to the tangent point. Now let's see how to find out that. There is one formula, that is h is equals to d square upon twice r into 1 minus 2 into m, where h is the height of the station above datum, d is the distance to the visible horizon, r is the mean radius of the earth, m is the mean coefficient of refraction. The value of m is 0.07 for land and 0.08 for sea. Now why coefficient of refraction is that need to be considered? Because the distances are long, they are the two stations are very far from each other. So in that case the curvature of the earth is considered, so we have to consider the coefficient of refraction. Now if we substitute the value of r in the formula, so this formula will be reduced to h is equals to 0.06728 into d square, where h is in meters and d is in kilometers. Now it is necessary to know that in this formula this d is the distance of the station from the tangent point, that is up from the visible horizon point. Now second part is relative elevations of stations. Second part is relative elevations of stations. Now in this figure we can easily understand what is the relative elevations of the station and how to find out that. Now here there are two stations A and B. Now the distances are very far, so we consider the curvature of the earth here. Now h1 is the elevation of A and capital D is the distance between the two stations. Here h2 is the elevation of B. So if you know the elevation of A, from that you can find out the elevation of B, provided you should know the distance between these two stations. Here h1 is the known elevation of station A above datum, h2 is required elevation of B above datum, d1 distance from A to the point of tangency, d2 distance from B to the point of tangency, d the known distance between A and B. Now how to find out the relative elevations of the station? Now if you know the elevation of A and if you know the distance capital D between A and B station, so H1 is the elevation of station A above datum. In this procedure, we only use one formula, that is H is equals to 0.06728 into D. Now again we will move to the same diagram. Here H1 is the elevation above datum. Now D1 and D2 are the distances of the stations with respect to the point of tangency. So this is the point of tangency. Now here this point of tangency plays very important role because the minimum line of sight will pass through this point. Below that there is not any possibility of the line of sight, so minimum line of sight will pass through this point. So initially we find out the distances of the stations with respect to point of tangency. So here D1 is the distance between point of tangency and A station, and D2 is the distance between station B and point of tangency. Now in first step here, that from the H1 we find out D1 by using the same formula, that is H is equals to 0.06728 into D square. D1 is calculated here from the formula, so D1 will be in kilometers. But knowing D1 we can find out the D2, that is D minus D1 is equals to D2. Knowing D2 we can find out H2. So H2 is the elevation of B station above datum. The required elevation H2 is determined at station B. If the actual ground level at B is known, it can be ascertained whether it is necessary to elevate the station B above the ground or not, and if so, the required height of tower can be computed. There is special note here, while making the calculations, the line of sight should not graze the surface at the point of tangency but should be above it by 2 to 3 meters. So in next video, we'll see the numericals on this topic. Thank you.